The great TV series Krishnadasi constantly made to give goosebumps to the onlookers with its never-ending dilemma way, and suddenly the big crux of the show is to showcase in the brand new episodes that Shashwat conveys harm jug and says to Shravani that I will give you harm. Aaba says I will execute her. Bhamini demonstrates her toxin bottle as well. Shravani gets frightened and says Aryan, all dead individuals are back. Aryan is sitting in mandap and says, what are you saying? Who has rebound? Our infant? Actually, Aaba says Shashwat, all are confounded seeing him. Aaba removes his facial hair and mustache. Shashwat says Aaba. Kumudini says, oh God, this is a wonder. Banwari and Mark and see them. Banwari says all dead individuals are back. Aryan is paralyzed seeing Aaba. Aradhya thanks, Master. Where in the last episode, Aradhya tries to attack Aryan with dagger, she has veil on her face. Aryan falls down, he says to Aradhya that you can't kill me because you still love me. He takes off her veil. Aradhya is about to attack him, but Pavitra screams Aru. Aradhya sees Gayatri, Shashwat, Pavitra, and Bhamini all there alive. She is stunned and elated. Where in the latest episode, Shashwat conveys harm container and says to Shravani that I will give you harm. Aaba says I will execute her. Bhamini demonstrates her toxic substance bottle as well. Shravani gets terrified and says Aryan, all dead individuals are back. Aryan is sitting in mandap and says, what are you saying? Who has rebound? Our child? Shravani says no, it never existed, it was all fake and lie. Aradhya grins at her, she is sitting alongside Aryan in mandap. Kumudini and Aaba are in the market. They are hunting down Aradhya and Shravani. Aradhya pushes Aryan down on piece again and tries to assault yet stops. Aryan closes his eyes and holds up. He says to Aradhya that you cannot murder me since regardless you cherish me. He removes her cover. Aryan says, well, despite everything you say that you are not Aradhya. Aradhya says I didn't realize that individual who slaughtered my family in the wake of plotting with his significant other. I couldn't murder him. I don't know why I am not ready to assault you, but rather recall that I won't extra you. I will get you rebuffed. Aryan says, in any event, you concurred that you are not any Aruna Devi but rather my Aradhya. Aradhya tries to hurt him. Aryan says, what's happening with you? You think I slaughtered your family? Why you are rebuffing me? Hear me out once. Aradhya says I know all truth. I won't extra you. Aryan abandons her hands and says you detest me, right? Don't you believe me? So execute me. Aradhya says you slaughtered my family. Aradhya is going to assault him, however Pavitra shouts Aru. Aradhya sees Gayatri, Shashwat, Pavitra, and Bhamini all there alive. She is dazed and elated. Shashwat says, my little girl. Gayatri touches Aradhya's face and says we got our Aru. She embraces her, all grin. Aradhya says aye. Pavitra embraces her, then she meets her entire family and cries. Pavitra says this must be the fantasy. Aradhya asks who this happened. David focuses at Aryan and grins. Aradhya swings to take a gander at Aryan, who turns away. Shravani is stuck in the horde. She tries to push them away. Kumudini and Aaba see her. Kumudini says this insane is here. She brings red stew powder and requests that Aaba close his eyes. He says I am wearing glasses, you close eyes. Kumudini red bean stew powder on Shravani's eyes. Shravani shouts for offer assistance. Banwari and Mark and see Aaba and Kumudini doing high five. Kumudini says in years, we have benefited first cooperate, on the off chance that we had ended up companions before then we would have benefited more. Aaba says you were prideful, Kumudini says you were canine's tail, never fixing, Aaba says you. He says we are companions now, let's not battle, let's discover Aradhya, she says first me, they takes off. Banwari says she was frantic, how could she have been able to she turn out to be fine. Check and says when dis she trapped even? How about we go and see.